Good day, folks. It's Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm on a beautiful June morning. I think we're heading into the third week of June. And boy, oh boy, we got the grass. We've got the clover too. I've never seen clover like this. It's really, really thick. But we've got enough grass in the clover. We're not worried about bloat. You wouldn't want to turn them in on this if that was solid clover. It's wet this morning. There's a dew. But we've got some Timothy. There's some other forbs in there with it. There's some Queen Anne's lace, a little bit of fescue. There's some bluegrass. So the cows just can't take solid clover. You don't want to turn your cows in on 100% standard clover early in the morning when there's dew on it. It's a good chance you could lose an animal. Ben and Isaac are bringing this wire up the hill. And this particular paddock, on our first rotation, we actually got 1 day out of it. We just gave them the whole paddock. This time we split it into thirds to get a little more impact. And by doing that, this is what they did. You can't walk out here where there hasn't been a cow step on it, lay it on the ground, or eat it. So our ratio that we're shooting for is 1/3 of the plant trampled on the ground, the other third put in the animal, and the other third left standing. And that's about what we have out here. I mean, to me, this is just perfect. Quite a bit of grass in here. I like seeing a little bit more grass in the clover. A lot of people are really complaining this year that the white clover is taking over their farm. And it causes animal performance issues because you get too much protein. And we're seeing some of that on our farm too. I mean, we've got some pastures that got plenty of clover, that's for sure. But the cows are doing well. We do have some really, really fat animals in there. When I say fat, I'm talking about healthy, the healthy type fat. These cows got calves on them, so they need to be packing on some weight. That way they breed back. If your cow gets thin in the summer, you're not giving it enough to eat. They shouldn't be thin when you're moving them on the grass like this. They're making the way up the hill. And this there's a tree swallow right in front of my face. That's awesome. This is a north-facing slope. We always have more trouble getting animals to make impact on this north-facing slope because the grass isn't as good. It doesn't get as much sun. And but boy, I am tickled to death what I see here. Folks, when we leased this farm, this was all blackberries. This whole hillside was solid blackberries. And we have, this has been, I guess, the third year. I haven't brush hogged anything this year. I haven't clipped a single seed head. It's just been too wet. And the job that the cows are doing, I'm not sure we're going to do any clipping. They're just, like, I was talking to an old farmer yesterday. He said, Greg, I don't have any seed heads to clip. I got so much clover. And, that's the problem right now. If you went out here and tried to clip this, after the cows, we never clip in front of our cow herd, ever. You always clip behind the cows. Don't clip in front of them. I saw a guy the other day brush hogging. He brush hogged his whole farm off with the cows in it in the same pasture. Of course, he wasn't rotating, but he mowed the whole farm off. Didn't even give the cows a chance to eat. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to show you why. What if I'd have came up here and clipped this? First of all, I'd have lost a ton of money because my cows would have never had a chance to come in here and eat this. I mean, look at those cows. Look at the Timothy. That's Timothy. That's a cool season. I mean, this farm has never had an ounce of lime or fertilizer put on it. Not saying that's the thing you can't do, but with good grazing management, I'm just showing you maybe it's something you don't have to do. The cattle, their hair coats are shining now. Cowbirds are coming in. If you look at the hair coats on them, they're shiny. Now right here, I would say that clover stand there is probably approaching 75%. That's way too much clover for me. It puts too much protein in the animal. But cows like it. Now see that cow, she's getting clover. She picks her mouth up. You'll see her mouth, she's got some grass in there too. Turn around here, honey. Turn around. Pick your head up. See, there's a ton of clover in there, but there's just a little bit of grass. There's a little bit of grass. And the other thing about these cows is they were on this yesterday, and so they're adapted to it. They're not hungry. You don't want to turn hungry cows into something like this. If they're really hungry, especially early in the morning, they may tank up on this. And if they tank up on it and they're hungry, there is a chance you could have bloat. But can y'all see a difference there? That's where they were at last night. We gave them this ridge, and this morning we gave them this. And I had a guy that day say, well, Greg, I work in town. I can't move my cows as often as you do. You know, how about every 3 days? Absolutely. Absolutely. 3 days works just as, you know, I worked in town. You do what you have to do to make it work. And any kind of rotation is better than no rotation, okay? Just giving the cows the whole farm, don't expect to be able to turn your farm around. You're not going to. Absolutely not going to happen. So the first wire to put in is 1. Split your farm in half. Split it in half. Just give them half of it. If you're not doing any rotation, leave them there for, I don't know, 30 days, and move them to the other half for 30 days. But let the plants have some kind of recovery. If you do that, you're going to grow twice as much grass. In our case, we're moving them, you know, every 12 hours. That's why our cows look the way they do. I mean, they're just fat. Our bull herd, same way. They're just fat. It's because they get some of this every 12 hours. And so the cows will graze out the best plants immediately. And then they'll go after the less best plants, you might say. I'm waiting for something to grab that orchard grass right there. This is some super high quality feed in the form of very palatable. You notice that cow's like, get out of here. This is my area right here. When the cows graze, they're not having any trouble at all ripping it off the stalk. They're not pulling on it. And you don't see them struggling with getting a bite to eat here. So they're going to fill up here in just about an hour, probably around an hour. They'll go shade up, ruminate, and they'll be back here. Well, right now it's 8 o'clock in the morning. They'll be back in here probably by 10:30 doing this again. So the more palatable the forage you can put in a cow, the sooner they fill up. Look at this cow. That cow's got a calf on her. Looks like she's going to calve again. She just had a calf like a week ago. Look at that. That's why you need to move your animals, folks. And you need the right genetics too. Sure helps. Well, this cow here is just oily. Folks, the flies, this is maximum fly season right now. And the ones that's got the good hair coat on don't hardly have any flies on them. Look at the tail head on that cow. The tail head's right where the tail comes off the cow. Look how fat it is. All that fat. You like fat around the tail head. See that? That's all grass. There's no grain. That wasn't put on there by feeding them grain. That's grass fat. Man, if you can get cows looking like this in the summertime, you can coast through the winter. Because they can take that calf through the winter on what we call the fat of the tail. Oh, right here's old grandma. Look at this. Here's the 19-year-old cow right here. She's going at it. 19 years old, 17 calves. She's got a few wrinkles in her forehead, but if I was 19 cow years, I'd have a few wrinkles too. But she looks good. She really does for a 19-year-old cow. She's still getting around good. I like this little cow here, 181. I mean, she is a beaut. Just a beautiful animal. Nice slick hair coat. Notice all these cows have super good docility. Oil, look at the oil in that cow. You put your hand out there, there's going to be oil on it. That does help on your fly control some. You're still going to have some flies. In the perfect world, you don't have any flies, but we don't live in the perfect world. We're going to have some flies. We do have tree swallows. We need more houses. They do the best they can, but we need more tree swallows. I'm not going to put out a back rub and kill my soil organic matter. All the soil microbes, I mean. Anytime you put any kind of petroleum on your animals, that ends up in the manure. Then nothing will eat your manure and you go broke. So, here's a really fat cow, 8'2". Golly, she looks nice. So with that, I'm going to sign off. It's a beautiful morning, and we've got more moves to make this morning. And we'll see everyone down the road, and hit that subscribe button on the way out, and hit that like as well. And we'll see you down at another time.